Hello, welcome into this mystery reading. My name is Molly. I am the Quantum Leap Queen. These readings are designed to be a mystery just as much for you as for me, and I am the messenger for you. These readings are timeless. You choose simply based on your intuition, and they're just a tool for you to come and utilize when you need some nourishment. So let's start off the bat, as we always do, by setting our intentions. I am setting the intention to give you the best messages that you need to hear today. So let's take a look at the tarot. We'll find out some details about what we need to discuss today. I have the Pulp Tarot that I'm starting out with. What are we talking about today with this group here? I have the Seven of Pentacles. What else with that? What else with that? It's definitely talking about something you've invested in a lot. Let's see. Death. Okay, what with death? The Two of Pentacles. Okay. Let's start there. And the Queen of Pentacles on the top of the deck. All these pentacles. Okay, so something in your life you have invested a lot into. The Seven of Pentacles, the first card out. You can see this gal with all her money bags. And it's like there's a project. It definitely could have been a relationship or something you've created for a career or something. Something you've poured a lot into and literally created, manifested, because it's the pentacles, so it's the earth energy. It's here with us. I had death come out next, so it's like telling me that there was a abrupt ending perhaps to everything that you've invested or whatever this was. And then the Two of Pentacles, so it's like you're trying to find balance again after your investment kind of stopped. Like it stopped being the same that it was. There's a real opportunity for you here in this chapter or through this life lesson to step more into knowing that even if you create something and even if it tumbles down, you're still able to come back and create what it is that you want. You're still able to create the life of your dreams. And you see these opportunities just as that, as an opportunity to grow into something better. Not only in yourself, but then create more magic around you. So that's what I feel, but definitely the Tower is next. And I just feel like you went through a Tower moment recently when it came to this investment. Definitely could have been a relationship, right? But definitely could have been anything for anyone, as this is a general reading. Let me ask what more we need to know about this situation. What else is important for this group? The Four of Swords. You've spent a lot of You've had a lot of, I don't want to say sleepless nights, but it's like a lot of time and attention where your thoughts are on what happened and trying to decipher the truth from what happened, because there was a lot of little details I feel like you're looking at. Definitely could have been a person, and if it was, because then I have the Five of Cups too. Could have been a person, and it feels like they don't seem to be doing that same emotional work that you're doing, or you see them as like unfazed. They're unfazed about what happened. They have like this very set mindset, and I don't think they're willing to sway either way and look at things differently. They seem like a very much like for some reason the phrase like ignorance is bliss coming into my mind. If they don't look at things differently, then they don't need to go into those hard and tough emotions. But you kind of have no choice with the Five of Cups, because whatever you lost here, it really emotionally is distraught. You feel emotionally distraught from this. And it's just been a tough place to be, but it's also allowed you to look at the details, look at the fine print, look at the transcripts of really what happened, and then to decipher what's true from what's not true. So there's a lot of work that you're doing and a lot of looking back, and that's not a bad thing as you're healing. I think this is a very necessary process to see the truth of the matter, because when you're going through it, you don't always see it because you haven't matured to that level of seeing it the way that you're able to now. Yeah, that's kind of where I feel like you're at. Let me ask advice for this group. The best advice for you where you sit currently. What is the best advice for this group? I have the Eight of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords. Yeah. It's actually telling me more about the relationship. I feel like for most people, this is going to be a relationship. But I had the Eight of Pentacles come out and then the Nine of Swords. So this is your partner's energy. It was a lot of, they're mostly interested in, how do I say? Like, you see how this guy on the photo is painting a picture of a pentacle, and there's a naked woman on the couch, and that's essentially what he's painting, is like her. And then he's gonna put up his painting on the wall with all of his other paintings here. He's got a lot of them on the wall, all different colors, but they're all the pentacle, which to me is the woman. That's her energy. So it's like he's doing it for his own gain or his own it's like surface level. It's like, I just want to see how many I can get type energy, because that way a person doesn't have to go very deep within themselves. They can just keep getting the ego stroking and living on the surface level for these things. But they're like quick dopamine hits, right? And they're not really rooted in anything. And that path that person walks and ends up being very lonely because they never get to the depths of them. They're not really interested in exploring deeper than initial novelty. Something like that. And then with your energy, I'm seeing the Nine of Swords. So as you can see with this card, this is getting demolished by your mind. And this is the card of like extreme anxiety. And perhaps you have sat in those energies recently, or when you were healing, going through this. And it's this energy of feeling like, why was I not the one? Why was I not good enough? I invested so much in this. Why is this not being honored? What is wrong with me? Perhaps if this was a person, your partner made you feel like you were the one that was the issue in the relationship. But I see it as two people who are wanting very different things when it comes to their partner. Even if your partner followed along with your plan for some time, it's not like they were truly in it or truly committed to building something with you. They're committed to building their own ego, their own status, their own fabricated personality. That's where they're at. Again, it's more surface, but that's not how you run or how you operate. You're wanting something deeper, much deeper. And I think it shattered your heart to pieces to walk away from this relationship, because I know that was the last thing you wanted to do. You really wanted your partner to show up for you and to show up for the relationship. And the fact that they chose not to was absolutely heartbreaking and ego breaking in a way too. Like, you really have to go through your own ego death when you experience this level of hurt. Let me ask advice. What is advice for you? Temperance. Nice. In the Page of Wands. Temperance comes after the Death card, which we have out too. And it's the dawn after the death. So this is a new beginning, a fresh new beginning in yourself. And it's this accumulation of both your masculine and feminine energies holding you. You're wanting to create this solid vibration within you that doesn't need things from the outside to fulfill you. When you're living more surface level, you do search for those things, but you're looking for the depth. So you've been through your own personal death, and you're also arising into the earth angel temperance, because you don't want to go through that again. You don't want to put yourself in the same situation. So you are choosing the path of getting yourself stronger, which is not easy. You're choosing to get stronger within yourself so you don't need, or you won't fall for those same type of people who don't have your best interest in mind. Okay. That's what I'm feeling. And then I also had the Page of Wands at the top of the deck, and I feel like that's a reminder, like, listen, you got time and space now to follow your own creative pursuits. You are an alchemist, and I get this energy of wanting to create, whether that's an entrepreneurial type of creating something or simply an artist way of creating something. Like, you want to express this new vibration and this new self that you have been cultivating. That's going to help you heal even more is when you put your stuff into art or into creation of your life. That's what I feel that message is saying. Let me just ask if there's anything else from the tarot before we move on to oracle cards. Any final messages for us from the tarot? I have the King of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Ooh, that's powerful. That's super powerful. I was going to say earlier, but I bit my tongue on it. This feels like an entrepreneurial group. This feels like a group that really wants to carve their own path in the world. In one way, shape, or another. That doesn't have to look any particular way. But definitely a group that wants to create and be their own boss in some areas of life, if it's not all life. And they're saying the way that you tap into that more is simply by trusting and listening to your own magic, and to create things based on just what you want to create, and not caring about the outcome or having expectations on your creations. I think sometimes we can get into that mindset of like, well, I create this thing, I want it to generate this. And that's okay if you want that, but the key is to be very detached from outcome, because it could come completely differently. Your only focus should be to create what is sparking in you right now, what you feel compelled to bring to life. That is going to be your secret sauce to creating your dream life and feeling much more aligned and feeling more empowered within you. So that's your final message from the tarot. I would like to move on now. Let's look at the Moonology deck next. We'll get some messages from the moon for you. Okay, what is the most important message that this group needs to hear today? Thank you. Hold your vision. Fixed moon. Wow. Hold your vision. Fixed moon. Ooh, nice. And I feel like that's self-explanatory. And now you have nothing but energy to put towards that, I feel. Holding your vision. Let me just see if I can find the description. Hold your vision, fixed moon. There are two main possibilities with this card. The first is that you need to stand firm in whatever situation you're in. The second, very different interpretation, is that something is stuck. That could well be referring to the situation you're asking about. If that's the case, have a think about what you can do to grease the wheels so that the events move forward. Are you being stubborn? If so, that's great because you really want things to change. There's a solution. Stop digging your heels in. Be the one to break the deadlock. With two interpretations for this card, it's up to you to decide what's going on and which meaning applies to you. This offers up a chance for some self-reflection. So yeah, that's it. But I don't think what you're in right now is that stagnation. I think what you're in right now is healing. I think you are observing yourself, the past, you're really looking at things right now. But to hold that vision of what you're creating next. So it's, yes, one eye still deciphering the past, but then also you have another eye on what's coming up for you in the future and how you can honor those energies now. How you can honor your entrepreneurial, your artist energy now. It's not one or the other. That's how I see it. It's kind of like a foot in both worlds. But obviously the most important thing is to be present with yourself. But those are kind of like your projects you're working on, healing from the past and also cultivating for the future. That's how I see this card. Thank you, Moonology. I'm going to move on next. Let's see. I'm going to do I Create My Reality. Let's take a look at that one next. What is the best message for this group here today? Thank you. Nice. I create more of whatever I focus on. And here's the picture. Yeah, so the back says, my potential to succeed is infinite. Once you choose them, you must always take responsibility for your goals. No one else will seek them for you. Inevitably, you will encounter difficulties. Approach them as opportunities to learn something new and surprising. Never doubt, not even for a second, on your limitless ability to conquer all challenges. When you change your perception of the challenges, everything becomes easier. It really is quite that simple. So that's that message. And again, I feel like it's just confirmation to say your focus really is where your energy flows. So putting focus or putting the time in to not only heal from the past, but then create this vision for the future. There's so many, maybe you already do this, but like guided meditations to help you look deeper at your subconscious to see what's going on, and even getting into the energies of feeling the next version of yourself and really doing that integration work of like, he or she is already here with me and I'm tapped into them and I'm receiving from them and they are me. There's so much power in what you can create with your energy and your focus. So I think that's a nice little reminder. Yeah. Spirit is clear with these messages today. Let's take a look next at the little astrology corner I have here. I have some dice. Let's take a look at those. What does this group need to hear most? Ooh, so I have Mars and Gemini in the 11th house. Mars being the planet of action, also ego, also masculine energy, doing things. In Gemini, which is also a masculine sign, but Gemini is communication. Basically one word for Gemini, if I could highlight it, communication. We're talking. It's the twins when we're getting into us and another. And then it's in the 11th house, which is humanity. I would say it's humanity is the 11th house. It is kind of like the big picture and community. It's Aquarius energy, so it is quantum in that way. So if I were to wrap all of those different energies together, I feel like there's a message here to say that because of who you are, and again, I felt like this is a very entrepreneurial group, but because of who you are, you're going to be able to communicate and talk about the things that matter to you. And it definitely could be egoic things, as far as helping other people transform their egos and transform their focus and stuff like that. It could be that. But it's going to look different for everyone. But however it is, there is this focus on doing things and doing things effectively for the whole, for the community. So whatever you're learning now, it's literally going to ripple out into onto other people for them to experience what your wisdom. And then vice versa, they're going to learn a lot. You gain wisdom from them. They also share with others. It's this beautiful co-collaborative agreement that you're making in your contract with your life. That's like, I'm going through this really difficult time right now, but it's helping me to learn what I need to learn so that I can take action to help other people and get them the information that they need to succeed in their lives. And so it's a very full circle approach. That's what I see is happening right now and what is coming up for you. I feel like you're going to be seeing a lot more, having a lot more communication with other people. And it is about networking, building those circles around you of like-minded people and individuals. Okay, let me pull from the deck now, and I'm just going to ask what cards are going to suit you best right where you're at currently. What is the best message for this group? Thank you. I have companionship. Wow. So we have the moon in Libra, companionship. And then we have birth. We have Venus in Cancer. So literally you're birthing companionship. I think you will, I feel this about this group, but I feel most of you are going to end up in communities that you didn't know were possible. You're going to have friendships, relationships that you didn't know could even be possible. There's this deep level of connection with the people that you will be coming into contact with. And it's going to give you a whole new outlook on life. And it's going to up-level the things in you, the things that you felt like that made you either wrong or there was something wrong with you. You're going to see that that was never true and that you just weren't around the people that get you. I truly think you're stepping into communities that get you. Much more open-minded people and much people on your level. That's what I see you're stepping into, and that's what's coming from this chapter of the work you're doing. It's all gonna be a million times worth it. I don't think you can predict when or how this is coming about. It's just that it's there. You have contracts to expand your network with other people that are also doing that same thing. It's cool. You're making a really cool, collaborative, fertile agreement with people that are going to help to birth more of the energies that you want to see within yourself, your community, and in the world. That's what I feel. So I'm just going to end this reading with a final card pull. This deck is the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck. So let's take a look. What is the final message for this group here today? What do they need to hear most? Send them off with. Thank you. Protection. You are so protected in this time, so protected. The way that the symbol is too, it reminds me of Pluto. That's not the symbol of Pluto, but it kind of looks like it, the branches here. And Pluto, protection. Let me read real quick. It's also number 1, so it's the first card here. Okay. Oh, it's a Norse Viking rune. Nice. Okay. So it says, you are protected. You are safe in all matters of the body, mind, and spirit. Your highest guidance has you covered on all fronts. Do not delay in moving forward. If inquiring about a relationship, situation, or how to proceed, please take this as a sign that you are taken care of, and harm to none will be had. Meditate on this symbol when you feel like you need to strengthen your energy. Beautiful. I feel like it's a perfect last message because it does, maybe you felt like everything's on your shoulders or been feeling the pressure of that, but to know that you have divine guidance all around you. You've never been alone. Never. It's impossible. I mean, I guess in the law of one where we're all whole. But truly, you have spiritual guidance around you and protection around you. And it's, you're doing this work for you, yes, but you're also doing it for the whole. So it's very much important that you are guided and protected on your journey. So I'm going to leave it at that. I think that's a good last note to land on. So I admire this group. I admire this group for the work that you're doing. It's not easy, but it is so profound. And you're an alchemist, and you're a magical manifester because of the work you're able to do. The old stories you're able to let go of, and the new stories you're able to fabricate and live in. That makes you powerful, and that is why we're here. We're creators here. We're expressing God when we do that. So I hope this reading brought you nourishment wherever you're at in your life, and come on back to these mystery readings whenever you need more nourishment. And until the next one, guys, have a great day, and we'll talk with you later. Bye!